and I'm going to be a part of it. I am live now without you.
We're live. Oh,
I am alone in the domain of Bob.
You're gonna be if you quit being mean to me.
You know what? You ain't going nowhere. You're too lazy.
I know. Oh, my hair looks cute in this light. I got my hair in.
But of course, it's attached to your face.
Which is also beautiful. I did not bring tissues as anticipated.
You did. I hope you have boogers everywhere.
Welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Please check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. You can also find us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Twitter. We're everywhere. Woo!
Why does it smell like
Hollywood Matrimony.
peanut butter everywhere?
I'm eating peanuts.
Ugh, those
You
are-
want a peanut?
Oh, they stink.
Oh, God.
Do you have peanuts and Pez?
I have candies.
I'm going to take the Pez.
No,
Give me a Pez.
Those were my Christmas gift. You got Pez too,
I
but
know,
you
I'm
didn't
gonna
open
get
it.
yours.
Mm-mm.
I can do whatever I want. You can't stop me because you're
You
not
did
big
not
enough.
open your Pez?
You're not
These
big
are
enough to
mine.
stop me, so I can do whatever
Yes,
I want.
I am.
All right, well, tell us what's going on then.
Wow. So we're going to talk about some movies, and then we also have our top 10 movies of 2019. If you can imagine, we're at the end of the year, babe. This is our last show of the year.
Babe.
So
I meant
starting
that.
next week, man, it's going to be 2020.
Yeah, I guess next week we'll do something else I was going to do today.
Hi. Thank you for watching.
But I didn't have it prepared because I wanted to talk about what our most anticipated movies for next year were.
Oh, we can
But
do
we'll
that
do
next
that next week on
2020.
the first show of the new year.
And 2020. That's my bad, Barbara Walters. And then people are going to be like, who's Barbara Walters?
Did you see that somebody wanted they were saying that Barbara Walters should host the ball dropping
Oh, she could. For
so that she could be at the
2020.
end of it. She could be like, "This is Barbara Walters 2020."
That'd be awesome.
Anyway, so we got a ton of different things to talk about
We
today.
got to get going.
So we have a plethora of movies,
Is it
a lot of
plethora?
Netflix, Blu-rays, that kind of thing. We only have one theatrical film. There's a few of them that we wanted to see, we didn't get to see between life events going on and different things and holidays and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to do it before we get started. I'm going to do a recap real fast because you haven't seen it. I was thinking that maybe we should get people together on New Year's Day or New
Okay.
Year's Eve. We'll try to go see the Ip Man 4. But I won't talk about it.
can.
I already talked about on this past week's episode of Martial Arts Movie Monday. I did an Ip Man special edition,
Mhm.
which was all about Ip Man 1, 2, and 3, Master Z, the spin-off film, and the newest one, Ip Man 4, the finale. He's going to knock your drink over. That is currently in theaters. Put it right here. They can't see it.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. I don't care if they see it. These people can.
But anyway, Ip Man 4 is in theaters now. You have to check your local theaters. It's in limited release. I've been trying to share out on our pages what theaters it's showing all over the world or the country or the states,
yeah.
whatever. So I've shared a few things. Anyway, if you go to our website at
HollywoodMatrimony.com.
I don't know how long this is going for, but there's a little bit of contest type thing set up where you can win an Ip Man 4 prize pack, which includes an autographed Chinese Ip Man 4 poster by Donnie Yen, a steelbook edition of the trilogy, and a $50 Amazon gift card. So go there and look at it. But anyway, it's the final chapter of Ip Man. I know you haven't got to see it yet.
I have not seen it.
I'm not going to go into the whole thing because you can watch my episode from Monday.
Yes, watch it.
But it is awesome. It brings good closure to the show, to the series. It's got some great fights. And of course, it's got Scott Adkins taking on Donnie Yen, which is always a good thing. So if you haven't checked it out, go find it. And please, the cool thing about Ip Man 4 is you can technically watch Ip Man 4 without seeing the other films. Each one of them is set up to where it kind of tells the story before you start the new movie. And it ends with telling kind of what happens because they didn't know if they were going to make more anyway.
Yeah.
So when they made the first one, it kind of tells you the history of after that. And then they ended up making them. So, but I do recommend it's a better series because they do flow in different time periods of his life.
Yeah, it's really good.
So you should watch them all. And I think the
I
last
hope it's not sad like 3.
It is. It's a lot more a lot of sadness than like 3.
Sad was 3.
Yeah.
The 3 was sad. Sorry. I can't.
But
yeah.
lots of fights still. So anyway, moving on.
All right.
All right. So today we've got a couple of Blu-rays. We've got a Netflix movie. We got a theatrical movie. And we have a Amazon Prime movie, I think it was. What would you like to start with?
Let's just go in this order.
Well, not all of them are on there either.
What do you mean?
Oh, there's a Disney Plus movie too. There's one other movie that's not even on there.
Okay. Well, let's go. Let's start at the top.
Let's start with the one that's not on there. It's an older movie. Just hit Amazon Prime, so we watched it. Called Little.
We are so behind on that movie.
Were we though?
We were. Like, we didn't get to see
Were we
it.
though?
Okay. Anyways.
So if you don't know what Little is, tell us about it.
The movie
There's no review on our site.
is about I don't know the main lady's name. But anyway, she's a mean lady at work. And then this little girl's like, I wish you were little. And she puts like a spell on her.
I put a spell
And the
on
next
you.
day she wakes up and she's little again, like a child.
It's like every one of them. It was like Big.
Yeah, it's the reverse
Big
of
in the corporate world with women.
And the little girl is from your show that you watched from Blackish.
Yeah, she's funny too, and then she's great in the
really
show,
good.
and she's pretty good in the movie too.
And then I can't find it. Anyways.
What are you doing over here?
I was trying to find it. Anyways.
What did you think of the movie?
Overall, it was okay. I was hoping it was going to be super fun and exciting, and it was just all right.
It seemed it's the problem with those kind of movies, like things like Big or that work really well, and you even have those movies where they switch places, vice versa, and all those other back in the 80s and 90s, that they always seem to work. This one, it felt rushed. It felt like they were very quick to establish that this lady's a bitch and that she went through some stuff which made her a bitch, and nobody likes her. They made her a very unflattering character, as opposed to somebody who was just a powerful woman in running a business.
Yeah.
Like they could have done a lot of that same stuff and made her appear more like she's just a stern boss and stuff, and people didn't like her. But this one, she was just a hateful person.
Yeah.
And then when the body switch thing or transformation happens, whatever you want to call it, it's not switch. It seems like there's way too easy to accept it without any explanation. Like most of these movies, there's an explanation. Oh, this thing was mystical or whatever, this way. And I'm fine with no explanation, but everybody seemed to accept it right away. Everything seemed to be too convenient. What question on why is this kid in school so late, and why is this kid doing whatever they want?
Well, I mean, it comes up throughout the movie, like you need to be in school or.
No, I know that, but I'm talking about like they show up and it seems to be okay, and then there's stuff they do in school, and there's never teachers around. There's like assault and battery and stuff happening, and I don't know. I just didn't buy into most of it.
I think the thing that bothered me is it was rushed. There's barely any of the main lady, Regina Hall. She's barely in the beginning,
which I'm fine with.
I know, because you're not super.
I don't dislike her, but I mean, for the story.
At the end.
Yeah, for the story.
Aquaman shows up for like 3 minutes.
Aquaman.
Isn't he Aquaman?
Well, he was Aquaman in like the pilot. He was Arrow. He was Green Arrow.
Whatever. What's his name?
From Smallville.
Green Arrow from Smallville. Yeah. There you go. And so really it's the story
of the
little
Justin Hartley.
Yes, the guy from This Is Us. It's really the story of the little girl and the lady's assistant April. So it's really about them. I mean, it's fine. It's a cute little movie.
But it played up every cliche of this genre that's ever been done.
Yeah, the body switch joke.
Yeah.
Every one of them. We got them.
The redemption, learning a lesson.
It wasn't super original. It was cute. So if you want to go see Little, go see it or watch it on video.
If you have Amazon Prime, it was free.
There you go.
So watch it there.
So check out the movie Little.
So moving on.
Next.
We just threw that one in there as a bonus. All right. So this other one has been out for quite a while too, ever since Disney Plus launched in November.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Christmas movie, so we thought it'd be good to throw it in there. We ended up watching it kind of last minute. There's no review on it.
Okay.
It's a movie called Noelle,
the
starring
girl from Anna Kendrick.
The girl from Anna Kendrick?
The girl from the singing movies.
It's Anna Kendrick and Billy Eichner and Bill Hader.
And surprisingly, Shirley MacLaine.
Yeah, Shirley MacLaine.
We're like, is that Shirley MacLaine? I'm like,
I was surprised she was in it. I just didn't realize she was in the movie.
Yeah.
So what did you think of this? Because this is more of a you movie than a me movie.
I thought it was super cute. I would watch it every Christmas. I probably will. It's the story of Noelle Kringle and her brother, Nick Kringle. And Nick is going to be taking over for Daddy Nicholas.
That'd be Santa.
So Daddy Nicholas goes to be with Jesus. And it's time for Nick, who is Bill Hader, to take over the family business. And Noelle, because she's just the sister, her job is just to spread Christmas cheer. Yeah. She doesn't really have a place because she's
a girl.
So
that's what it's played up in the movie.
A couple of issues.
Okay.
That previously, the whole you're a girl, you can't do anything would have been a fine movie. But now I think in light of all the women empowerment, Me Too, whatever. It's a little overdone for me personally. I'm starting to get tired of it.
Well, my issue, like with a movie like this, was
which I feel bad saying that.
Of course, she can't be Santa Claus
because she's a girl.
Because Santa Claus is Santa Claus. You know, if you want to talk about the race and what race Santa Claus should be, it doesn't matter about his thing. But it's the same thing. Like, here's my thing, and we've talked about this show before: is there's certain things that don't get changed just because something in society needs to change. Now, if it was something offensive or whatever, then I get it, you know, but not that she's Santa Claus in the movie, because she's not, but I'm just saying the argument of, you know, she's wanting to be more, which is fine. She deserved to do more because she was the one that was all about everything and knew everything. And you get the pressures of him her brother not feeling like he lives up to be the Santa Claus and doesn't want that. So
that's the thing, is she kind of wants to, but he doesn't, but she can't. But
she's a girl, but it's the same thing. It's like, is just because you want to change them doesn't mean, it's like Annie is a prime example of that whole argument. Is the Annie comic strip with a little redheaded white girl. That's the character. You know, could you do it different ethnicities? Yes, but there needs to be a reason for it. If you're going to change it, be a reason for it. Well, so, like, they made the original Annie. Does it hold up now from the 80s or whatever that movie was made? It's a ridiculously silly movie, but it holds up okay. They did the remake of it.
It's a Hard Knock Life, and
the remake is horrible. It's just a bad movie, but they remade it with a black cast just to remake it with a black cast. And I'm okay had they said this girl was just the best person for the job, but that clearly wasn't the case, because being an orphan,
okay, too. It wasn't even great.
No, but if they had done that and she was the cast member that was changed and she was great for the role, I'd been fine with that. But then you changed the character for Jamie Foxx because you were clearly making a movie to do that. You know, and I'm also getting tired of the people saying, well, these movies weren't made for you, or this movie's, you don't understand it because you don't connect to it. That's not always the case. And just because we have another movie that we're going to disagree on tonight that we're going to talk about.
How dare you disagree?
I know, right? And it's got more of the same stuff in it. So anyway, go back to Noelle. I'm sorry.
Anyways, I thought it was a super cute movie. I guess in theory, Santa could be green or an alien and no one cares because you don't see Santa. That's why it comes at night when you're asleep.
And that could work.
Whatever. Yes. I think it's a super cute movie. I like Anna Kendrick in most things. There are some times when she's annoying, but she was not annoying than me in this. I thought she was really cute. And Bill Hader was really funny. I like him.
I like Bill Hader, too.
I always do.
I anticipated hating this movie.
I know you did.
Because I thought
it was just like a girly movie.
Well, it wasn't even that. I just thought it was going to be another cliched, stupid, boring. I'm not a big Christmas movie guy. Most Christmas movies are just bad.
Unless it's like...
Well, I mean, I like any slasher flick. I like even bad slasher flicks. You know, I mean, but there are some really bad ones.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
A Christmas Story.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I think my new favorite is the, Krampus.
Oh, well, I don't count that as like, if I go by like a Christmas movie, if somebody asks me, I go for like a standard Christmas movie. If I'm going by horror films for Christmas, it's going to be things like Krampus and.
Do you still like
Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Whatever. What's his name? Sorry, I just went blank on the most Christmas movie ever. Die Hard.
What about it?
Christmas movie.
Yeah, I think that and Lethal Weapon are Christmas movies. But they're not Christmas movies in the sense of about Christmas, but they're movies that take place during Christmas time. So apparently that's all you need to have in a movie to make it a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's just got to take place in that time period. It's just like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a Thanksgiving movie.
That's true.
Because they're trying to get home for Thanksgiving.
Oh.
But
see, and I really don't care for A Christmas Story.
And that's fine. I get it. I get the movie. If somebody doesn't like that movie, the movie bombed when it came out originally.
That's just called it times because you watch it every year.
Yeah, but I'm also one of those people that I have a very strict time period. I'll watch certain things, like Emma Daughter's Jug Band Christmas.
That is probably my favorite.
My Christmas movie. That's not a movie though. That was a TV special.
TV special.
That is my favorite TV special of all time. Christmas Story is my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
I like A Christmas Prince right now.
But I will only watch those two during December. I will not watch them the rest of the year unless it's some kind of a special screening thing. Like when we saw Emma Daughter, I think that was a special That might have still been in December. I don't remember.
I think it was in December
Yeah.
last year, but
Well,
I was
watch it.
singing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was annoying the people next to me, and I don't care.
But I have Mr. Hankey's Christmas Classics, which I will not listen to that CD except in December
Mr.
either.
Hankey, the
Anyway.
Christmas boo. Anyway, so check out the movie Noelle.
I actually was entertained by it.
Good.
I mean, it wasn't.
You like Elf? I like Elf too.
Well, that's what I was about to say. This movie was basically trying really hard to be Elf.
It was.
It wasn't as good as Elf.
Mm-mm.
But a lot of that I think has to do with Jon Favreau's directing and Will Ferrell's character in the movie.
I think I also like
it was another story of a fish out of water, doesn't understand the real world, which it baffles me on both of those movies why the elves would suddenly not understand anything in the real world if your whole thing is making toys and doing all this stuff for the people in the real world. You would think they would have some knowledge of something. But anyway.
I also like the Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3.
I like 1 and 2. 3 is no. I like the new Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell. I like Klaus or Claus, whatever you want to call it.
Claus.
There's a lot of those movies that are just fun.
Okay.
But the other thing too is I was weirded out by seeing Billy Eichner calm because I like seeing him all crazy. And
you're like, that's Billy. I'm like, Billy on the street.
That is him.
It didn't seem like, because he wasn't like.
Yeah, because on that show and when he was on Parks and Recreation, he acted the same way.
Like,
and and even when he was in The Lion King, he was still a little amped up.
Yeah,
not at all. But he was still good in the movie. But it's a fun little Christmas movie. It's on Disney Plus right now.
Check out Noelle.
And
it's available now.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Moving on. So we have a Netflix movie. We've got 2 DVD Blu-rays and a theatrical film. What do you like to talk about?
Let's go this way now. Right here.
All right. So this one is another one that's getting some talk of award Oscar contention. I don't think for the movie itself, but for the performance. And we're talking about Renee Zellweger and Judy, which she plays Judy Garland. Now, before we get into this is not the life story of Judy Garland.
No.
This is basically her trying to make her comeback, or her last comeback that she came back. We're doing a show. It's later in her life. She's already kind of become this mega star, and now she's kind of fallen. So now she's trying to make her way back to the top. So she's on hard times. We do get some flashbacks of work on the set of Wizard of Oz and things like this. But that's because it's dealing with some of the stuff she went through as a child that caused a lot of the mental issues she had later in life. I know you love all things Renee Zellweger and Judy Garland. So I'm going to let you be the one on this one because I have a distinct opinion about this movie. This one, I was interested in the movie because I like this kind of stuff, but I also don't care about the Wizard of Oz. And
Judy.
I always thought the Wizard of Oz was a highly overrated movie.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I've seen it hundreds of times. I've just never understood, even as a kid, I never understood the appeal of that movie.
See, and I recently watched it like on purpose just to watch it because I want to watch this.
That's a whole other argument. I just have never understood why people love that movie so much. Anyway, so what did you think of Judy?
Well, overall, I found the movie to be very slow and boring, unfortunately.
Very much so.
Renee Zellweger, I loved her. And I loved her look and her embodiment and like even the way she walks and the accent of Judy Garland and her singing and everything she did. I thought she was perfect. I love Renee Zellweger. I always have. She's one of those people that really just gets into it.
She didn't used to be those. She used to be one of the very generic actresses, with the Jerry Maguires and the Bridget Joneses, and
but I think
as much as Bridget Jones is fun, they were still.
But she became the Bridget Jones.
It's nothing like with her Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Matthew McConaughey, that's probably her best.
Wasn't that her first movie?
Something like that.
Anyway,
that was a movie that was so bad that both of them wanted their names off.
Oh my gosh. I think she just did an amazing job in this movie.
She did. She is excellent in the movie. I was impressed with everything about what she did with the movie.
I think she should get something.
But she's surrounded by a movie that is boring.
Yeah. I like that we're getting the story and detail of everything that was going on. She's basically broke. She's homeless, trying to hold on to her kids and a semblance of a career. And I do like the story. I just wish it had been more exciting.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what they could have done because they've done these stories with tons of different people. Whether it's the rap guys are straight out of Compton, all Eyes on Me, or you talk about Rocket Man, or you talk about Bohemian Rhapsody. You have different movies that focus on these people. They recently did with the Laurel and Hardy movie.
Yeah,
that was exactly basically the same story. It was their later career trying to re-get to, and there was just, I don't know, there was nothing I could see with the story they were trying to tell to really, unless they had zeroed in on something specific. And I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to cover so much in that part of her life and trying to give you a detailed story, but it just drug on and on.
They did somehow, because they skipped a husband somewhere in this movie. Like, she went from the 4th to the 5th, or the 3rd to the 5th. I don't know. So it felt a little rushed, but then at the same time, it was slow. So it was confusing. I do like the flashbacks and going back to her childhood and seeing
the creepiness of
the guy from MGM.
Yeah.
And just how she was mistreated and abused, and the horrible labor laws of children back then, like there were none, because she's like, I've already been here 16 hours, and they didn't care, and they wouldn't let her eat, and they gave her a pill to wake up and a pill to go to sleep and a pill she was anxious, and I mean, they just screwed her all up, poor thing, because she died young. And
then there's they don't ever talk about it, but they allude to some of the sexual abuse. And,
did you see he was all like?
Yeah, he was very creepy. Was it Myers? I think it was.
Yeah, MGM.
Whichever Mannheim Globus Myers or whatever that is.
Whichever he was.
I think that's who the character was. It was supposed to be him. But anyway, it's very much a case of a brilliant performance engulfed in a boring movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the movie deserves any kind of nomination whatsoever. But I do agree that I wouldn't be surprised if she got any kind of nomination, because she is excellent in the movie.
She did a really good job.
Yeah, the singing was great. She had the raspy voice thing like you're talking about.
The accent, though,
she
too.
embodied the character. The lady. You really kind of could see Judy Garland on the screen as opposed to Renee Lemonface.
Mayer. It was Mayer.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Myers. I think it said Myers.
Mayer.
Anyway, but Judy is available now. If you want to check it out for yourself, if you're a big Judy Garland fan or Zellweger fan,
you may like the movie too. I mean, hey, I just felt like it was slow.
I did too. I found myself while watching it.
I did feel bad for her though. This is. It's
sad.
Definitely. You gotta watch it.
It is sad, and it's also intriguing of what she went through and not realizing how bad things were for her and that kind of thing. But at the same time, like I said, with so much that happens in this story, I would have felt a little more impact, I thought. Like even one of her final performances in the movie and stuff, I know they were trying to build up that sequence to make you feel something, and I was just like,
I did.
I did from the singing.
From her.
At the moment, I didn't. It was her singing gave you the moment.
Yeah, it was her.
Everything was about
all the good stuff in this movie is Renee.
Because there's the one where she's talking to the one guy, and she's just like, let me do this. Come on, please.
Yeah.
That moment you can see in her face, she's selling it, trying to give you the moment, and the moment's like, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, let's.
Now I did like that guy, that actor guy. I've seen him in something else. He was good too.
Yeah. So anyway, Judy's available now on Blu-ray and DVD. If you like it, check it out. If you don't care, then don't watch it.
There you go. That's how that works.
So do you want to go with the Netflix movie, this other Blu-ray movie?
Yeah, no, we'll go this way.
All right. So another one's one that I've been looking forward to for a little while. It's another one getting a lot of award talk.
Did you do a review?
I did not. The one theatrical is the only one I reviewed.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
There's been a lot of award talk because this movie did get a short theatrical run.
Oh, it did.
It did like a lot of them, like Netflix does, where they throw them in the theater so they can get award contention. Yeah. It's got to have a certain amount of days in a theater, or it won't get award contention at all. But it's a movie called Marriage Story, starring Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver,
otherwise known as
Black Widow and
Kylo Ren. They're married, and
Supreme
they have a little
Leader
boy.
Kylo Ren.
Yes, they have a little boy
named Fred.
No,
I don't know what his name is.
Fred.
It's a different kind of movie. It very much reminded me of like a Kramer versus Kramer. I don't know if you remember that movie or not.
I do remember that.
That movie tore me apart when I was a kid.
Aww,
I was like, what is happening to this family? Is my family going to be torn apart like these people?
Wow. See, and I wasn't there. At the beginning of this film, I was a little...
No. I mean on Kramer versus Kramer. Not on this
one. Tell me about with this one, because I have some strong opinions about this film.
I really love this movie, but I wasn't as big a fan of... It bounces around the timeline sometimes, and I think in a way that wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
I think they could have done a very straightforward storyline, and it would have worked just as well.
Yeah.
I get what they were doing, but as someone who comes from a divorce, I know it's scandalous. Someone who's been in a divorce, dealing with kids, and knowing and being the person that had to go move out and start his own, all on his own again, and do that stuff. You know, I connected to it a little bit on some level, and I understand some of the crap you deal with. But it wasn't the movie I thought I was going to get. In a good way. I had a preconceived notion of, hey, two people with problems, we're going to watch them fight. I didn't expect all the other stuff and the still having the connections and then the lack of connection and then trying to grow and not grow and the fights and then this different thing. So there was a lot more there. But I thought both their performances were amazing. So.
Well, I found it to be a little bit dull and boring at the beginning. I feel like
you've only had one successful marriage.
Yeah, because I'm in it. Of course, it's
That's
successful.
Not why this marriage is successful.
I think also you learned from your first experience.
And I learned how to make you believe you're in charge.
And I'm perfect and awesome. Who wouldn't want to be married to me? I provide you all the luxury. No, it had, for me at the beginning, it had some pacing issues of where are we going?
Yeah, it was a little slow trying to get going.
Once we got going, it's okay. And I really didn't like Scarlett Johansson as a person in this movie, which I think that's one of the things you were saying. You're like, there is no good person in this movie. And to me, I think the dude was the good person and she was a bad woman.
But you're one of those people too that notoriously, but outside of that, you notoriously can't have to pick a side.
I do.
You can't see both sides of anything.
No.
That's one of the fights we have sometimes. It's like
I'm right.
Both people can be right about the same thing, but in a different way. Because sometimes it's the perception of what you're getting is, if I give you a steak that I think is delicious, but you think it's disgusting, we're both right. But it's the different position. You can never step in the middle and say, okay, well, maybe I just didn't like the seasoning. You can like it, I'll hate it. You're going to be like, no, it's gross. The end.
Yep.
And that makes it harder to connect with the real life situations, which is why we fight sometimes.
We don't ever fight about anything. You fight. I have already decided I'm right, so it doesn't matter.
And she's wrong 90% of the time.
This is not true.
And later she'll be like, remember when you said such and such? She won't admit it then. She admits it months later during a different scenario that she can give it to someone else.
Anyways, I mean,
I get what you're saying, because I think both characters go up and down in their levels of right and wrong.
To me, it wasn't really good until the end when there's a really big fight and there's finally some emotion to our characters. That was the only part I thought was really good from there to the end.
Yeah.
The whole first half to me.
I get what you're saying, but again, that comes into our discussion we've had numerous times. It's life.
Yeah, it's life.
And you're not a big fan of watching life.
I'm not a fan of watching just life.
You're not a big fan of life.
No, because I live life. I don't want to watch a movie that's just some guy going to work and coming home. Like the other movie that you really loved, the guy just going to work and
which one?
I don't know if it was Adam Driver again, but where he just goes.
Patterson?
Maybe so.
You never saw it though. That is a slow ass movie, but he is so good in it and it's depressing.
See, and it's just not something I would watch. And I didn't like Scarlett Johansson at all, but I think that was the point: is you pick a side.
But I don't think she was. I don't think the thing was a point of liking either one of them or disliking either one of them.
Not.
Because she was the only one in the story that was bringing the love and passion, and he was the one. Yeah,
not at all.
I disagree.
She refused to share. Remember at the very beginning, he was trying to share with her, and she wouldn't share with him.
I agree, but he also was trying to control her.
Well, I don't think he was. I think she never spoke up for herself.
I think so that's where you get the arguments.
Yeah, that's her bad.
You have someone who's feeling like they're being controlled and that doesn't love them as much as them.
Help me.
And then you have the other person who thinks they're doing what that person needs or wants, and it's not always the case.
Well, I think people need to learn to communicate.
Well, that's that whole movie boils down to that, because when they have their big explosion, that's the great fight of the moment.
And you find out all this stuff that they've been holding on to for like 10 years.
Because there's a moment where one of the characters tells the other ones, I just sit and think about you being dead, and I'm so happy that you're dead. And that's that real life emotion of letting out all that frustration and anger. It's the same sequence that I talked about a couple weeks ago in Richard Jewell. It's the moment, the best moment of the movie is a moment when he finally let's go.
Yeah.
And he's just emotional. He's upset. Everything is over with for the most part of what happens and how it played out. And he just loses it because the whole time he's been very composed.
Been holding it and been like cooperative and.
I get. Anyways. This is one of the movies I do agree with her on the fact that it is a movie that you'll either like or dislike.
I didn't really care for
it. But I think both of their performances were great.
They did a good job.
And there is buzz about both of them being nominated for stuff.
I think he should be. I love Adam Driver. I'm really starting to love him. And I think it's because of that last movie I saw with what did he do recently? Scarlett Johansson, I like her, but I mean, you know.
I think her problem too is we don't see enough of her anymore of anything outside of Marvel. So we're just starting to see her again.
There was something else he did.
What is The Report?
The Report, I really like. That's another one that's slow in dialogue, but there's so much emotion.
Black Klansman.
Black Klansman, awesome. I really love too.
Bob's Burgers. Logan Lucky, which I need you to watch because I think you would love that movie. I think you'd find it.
Did I watch Midnight Special?
No, that's another great one.
Anyways, I like him. The one where he's the priest.
Silence.
Silence.
Is it Silence?
Was he in Silence or was it somebody else? It wasn't him.
It wasn't him. He was in one of those though.
Something like that.
Because it was Pat Silence right there.
Silence. He was.
I was right. You're dumb.
I like him. I just like him, and he tends to do things that are.
Well, he's an artsy
quiet.
Guy. He's an artsy actor.
Slow.
That's why
they're emotional.
If you haven't heard, there was this whole big controversy with Rise of Skywalker coming out because he wasn't doing a lot of the press. He left red carpets early, things like this. And it's because he has, well, they talked about that. He refuses to watch himself.
He has some anxiety issues.
And he has anxiety about, not anxiety about life, but anxiety about his own performances. Mm-hmm. And that there's been, they said when he's, I guess it was at the screening of The Force Awakens that he got physically ill watching himself. And it's because he's like, all I see is what I did wrong and what I should have fixed. And it's what drives him. So he doesn't watch anything. He does the project. He moves on.
Well, and that was the thing that the first time I saw this last one, Rise of Skywalker, and there's a one moment where he's just like, I was like, God, that was horrible. And I came up telling him, like, that was the most horrible thing. But
I couldn't for the life of me figure out what she was talking about.
He's like this.
And but even I'm like, what is she talking about? You better stop with this. That man has served our country.
I know. Thank you for your
He's
service.
A Marine.
But by the third viewing, I'm like, oh my gosh. Do you see everything that's happening on his face right now?
That's what I saw.
But that's now.
You just see this dopey face.
No, but now there's so much more happening there now. But I'm finding an appreciation for Kylo Ren.
Well, I just saw it for the fifth time today.
Did you find anything new on the fifth viewing? Did you pick up anything?
Well, I did. I can't talk about it on the show, but I did found out some stuff prior to watching this that I was not aware of. That it's, I guess it's easily public knowledge, but it's something you'd have to look for because the movie does it and some stuff. I did find something new that irritated me about the movie.
Oh no!
But
that's the danger of seeing it too many times.
But this is more of a production thing. This isn't. I had thought it the first time too. And I think the more I thought about it, it's just annoying me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I still love the movie.
Oh well. Go check out Marriage Story.
I'll be seeing it 2 more times. Still.
Okay, there you go. Marriage Story.
So Marriage Story is on Netflix. Don't go see it. Watch it at home. It's available now on the flicks of the net.
All right. I'm just throwing a link to it. Okay, next.
All right. What else are we on?
Next.
Oh, you want to talk about this other Blu-ray movie?
Yes.
All right, so this one is...
This was surprising.
Yeah, this is a lesser-known movie. It's kind of out of left field. So weirds me out, and it makes me go in with some reservations. It is a Dove-approved movie, but it is a movie called Adopt a Highway, starring Ethan Hawke. And you don't know this, but it is directed by... Did he write and direct it? Hold on. Where's his name? Written and directed... Are you ready for this? I didn't even know this until I wrote the review and was looking up. By Logan Marshall Green.
Who's Logan Marshall Green?
Logan Marshall Green is the poor man's Tom Hardy that started in Upgrade.
I love that dude.
He wrote and directed this movie.
Did he really?
This is his feature film
directorial debut. Good for you, dude, because I liked it.
So I did too. This is a movie I knew nothing about.
No.
I just knew Ethan Hawke was in it, and I like Ethan Hawke.
I like Ethan Hawke too.
Like I said, I didn't know. I would have watched it immediately had I known Logan Marshall Green wrote and directed it, just to support him as well. And but so basically, it's weird because it's like from Blumhouse, who also produced it, which they're more known for horror right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised.
But they've also done a lot of other stuff.
Okay.
So they're using here that says from Blumhouse, the producers of Whiplash, which is another great movie you've never watched.
I don't want to watch it.
We need to watch it.
It looks like not horrible, but mean.
It is, but I'd love to see your opinion of his mentality of the music in that movie.
Yeah,
the way he acts about it. Because to me, he acts similar to the way I teach in Taekwondo.
Yes.
Not as mean as that, but so anyway, the premise of the movie is about a man who just gets out of prison. He's been there for like 21 years for a third strike conviction for like he had like an ounce of marijuana. That's all he had.
Which, by the way, we need to stop putting people in prison for that. That's dumb.
But it was his third strike, so he got 21 years in prison. So he gets out. He's trying to rebuild his life. He doesn't have email. He doesn't know what the internet is.
He didn't even know what the internet is.
Yeah, he doesn't know any of this stuff because he's been that part's a typical prison.
Yeah, but man,
life story.
It's
imagine? Sad. It's depressing. But he gets a job. Where's he working at? Like a
fast
restaurant
food place.
Yeah. But anyway, he finds
a dishwasher. What movie?
That's from Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Yes.
Anyway, he's always taking the trash out. So there's 2 or 3 scenes where he's taking the trash out of the dumpster. Anyway, he finds a baby in the trash, and he takes the baby in, and that's where we're at.
Yes. So.
And all he has is a note that says the baby's name.
Yes.
That's it. And himself living at a hotel.
Man, this movie to me was just so amazing. Not like in a fantastical way, but amazing. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's, he's alone. He doesn't have family or anything. So that to me was the first sad thing is you get out of prison after being there for 20 years and there's no one to pick you up. I mean, he has nowhere to go or doesn't know what to do.
And that's part of the story is they talk about some issues with his dad and stuff like that. So that's part of the later
story later.
What really surprised me about this movie is I really liked it as well.
Yeah.
It's a little quirky. It's a little slow at times.
Quirky. He's good.
He's excellent in the movie, and he's awkward and weird, but in a way that you would expect somebody that has just stepped into a whole new universe. They know nothing about what's going on. I think there's one moment that he talks about making, for some kind of a food or something because they made it in prison to somebody. You know what I'm talking about? And it made that was funny. It was a sandwich or something. It's like how they made it in prison. And
it was a mustard and mayo sandwich, like mustard and mayo on bread. That's it.
Yeah, because he'd get the packets and just make a sandwich out of it. But it's what I didn't expect is the second half of the movie is kind of a road trip film.
Yeah,
it's like the baby story is kind of over, sort of, and it goes into a whole nother direction.
But the interesting thing though too is the being enlightened to the fact that there are probably a lot of people in prison, we watched some other movie. Is that on the list, that other movie? Oh, we can't, it hasn't come out yet. We can't talk about it yet.
It didn't come out until January 10th.
There's people in there who are wrongly imprisoned, or there's people like this who, now that the laws have changed, probably wouldn't be in prison for marijuana
in some places,
or whatever. And it's so fantastical to me. Like, you walk out and you don't even know where to go. Like, what do? You have no money. Can you get a job?
Usually you can earn money while being in prison.
I guess.
But you earn like
$1
an hour or 50 cents a day or some bullshit.
And it's cool that, the lady at the little fast food joint gives him the job. So that's cool. And he works hard and he's nice, but he's so weird and awkward.
Which creeps people out because they don't understand why you act like that.
But if you go from being like isolated in a small space to suddenly the entire world and there's internet and cell phones and all of these weird
because there's a moment where he's heading up to his parole officer, and his parole officer's like, you got to do this, you got to do this. Do what?
He's like, email me this form.
Yeah, email me. He goes, oh, what if you don't have an email? And he goes, well, just go get on the internet. And go, what if you don't have the internet? He goes, just get on the internet. And he goes, I don't have the internet. And so he's got to figure it out. He's got to go to the internet cafe, and he's got to get somebody there to teach him how to be on the internet and do an email. And it's for you laugh when it's your parents and they don't understand electronics or some stuff. Oh my gosh,
like your mom has set up like 5 Facebook accounts.
Yeah, and it's kind of humorous. But then when you really sit back and think about it, him or the older people that like the world is to the point, like I tell my dad all the time, you're going to have to start paying bills online or something because they're changing it. And eventually these people are going to be lost. And you got somebody like this who doesn't even have that baby step of building towards it. It's just in their face.
We need to do something. Or there are programs where I mean, and it's so random. This is such a random thing, but I talked to a lady at some event I went to, and she was basically, it's like a private academy, but they were doing like a life skills course. And like, how do you apply for college? And how do you, I'm like, call me if you ever need help.
That's what one of the things, one of the senior centers I teach, I know it's not the same thing, but
whatever.
One of the senior centers that I teach at, they have classes on how to use an iPhone.
Oh, cool. That's perfect. I'll be involved.
How to set up emails. And then, and of course, they still have their bingos and all that stuff too. But anyway, the movie's really good.
And the part with the baby is amazing.
Yeah, his interactions with the baby and his passion and his love for the kid and the struggles of what do I do so I don't get in trouble, but I don't lose the baby. But how do I take care of this baby? But I don't want anybody to know I can't ask for help. It's a whole ordeal. Because now you're a convict with basically a stolen baby, effectively.
But he rescued her.
He did, but I mean, if somebody looks at you as a convict,
and then the road trip part too, like
he connects with another person. He connects with another person who's kind of awkward and weird, and
and then we find out about his family. I mean, there's so much happening in this movie, and he is so good.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a great little movie, and it is also available now on Blu-ray and DVD from RLJE Films. It says on there, Ethan Hawke soars.
He does.
Because he's a hawk. You get it?
What's your favorite Ethan Hawke movie?
It says equal parts tragic and triumphant. Mm-hmm. There's two movies you would choose.
What?
One would be The Purge.
Yep.
And the other would be Gattaca.
Yes, I love Gattaca.
That was back when he was married to Uma Thurman.
It's one of those before he went off with the nanny. So who knows?
I don't think he did that.
I think that was him, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Who knows? Whatever. We don't care what you do. You're an actor. That's
I like a lot of personal movies. So
I love Gattaca too. Okay. Oh goodness. Let's talk about this.
That's probably the last movie before we get into our top movies of the year and whatnot. So we also went to one theatrical film. It was a movie I was wanting to see, but I was also hesitant about it because it is a remake of a remake. Not a remake of a remake, but it's a remake. Well, yeah, it is, I guess. A remake of a remake of the movie Black Christmas, starring Imogen Poots. I just like saying her name. So there was a movie in 1974 called Black Christmas that's about sorority girls and all this stuff. I haven't seen it in forever, and I'm not even sure if I've seen it all the way through, but I remember it being way more disturbing.
1974.
And then you jump, I believe, to 2006. Mm-hmm. There was a remake of Black Christmas, which it dialed up the gore factor, and I think it had the Buffy sister.
Michelle Trachtenberg.
It amped up the gore for a lot more violent, gory slasher flick. Don't remember being that great of a movie, but I remember the gore being great and the kills being great.
I need to watch the 70s movie.
But now we jump ahead, and Blumhouse, once again, has brought in an all-new version of Black Christmas, but it's the PG-13 version, which first, to me, is automatically hesitant on a slasher flick.
Yeah.
I get trying to get to the mainstream audience, but when you're dealing with a slasher flick, one of the things that I'm personally looking for are nice, elaborate kills. If I'm going to watch a movie about a killer, I want to see people killed.
Well, and that's where this.
And I know that probably sounds morbid, but I want to see murders. I want to see corkscrews through the face. I want to see it decapitations.
I want somebody to get run over.
I want to see if I'm watching a movie with Jason or Freddy or a movie like that or Sweatshop or those kinds of things. I want to see murders. I want to see death because that's what I'm being told I'm getting. If I'm watching Star Wars, I want to see lasers and spaceships, and I have specific needs for each of what you're selling me. So Black Christmas, went into it. I said I'm gonna keep an open mind. I'm gonna give it a chance, and we went and saw it. Now you haven't seen any of them.
I haven't, but I'm reading that now. On the first two, it was a serial.
They're all sorority girls, but slightly changed.
Kind of like a serial killer comes back to his childhood home.
This movie's completely different story.
Completely different. Yeah. From the trailers, you gather that it's kind of the guy's sorority taking out the girl's sorority.
But you don't really know.
But you don't really know what's happening. And this one kind of goes in a little bit of a different direction with that.
A direction that baffles me that she enjoyed.
I enjoyed it because I kind of knew that's where we were going.
Well, I did too, and I was fine with it because I'm fine with the last 30 minutes of the movie. I was bored.
Your leg is touching me and it's bothering me, sir. It's like we're on a plane.
I was bored through the majority of this movie. It felt super long.
Did it?
And it was only an hour and a half, and I felt like this movie went on and on and on.
Overall, I enjoyed the film. I would watch it again. I know you would not.
If they release a director's cut or an unrated version, I would watch it again.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think that suffered because of the PG-13. You don't see any good kills.
You don't see any. What do you mean any good? You don't see any kill.
Nah,
they're all. And I'm fine with. I'm actually a big fan of movies that do implied kills for a little while. And then at the end, they give you that big, gory, mush murder. It sets the tone that you know, oh my God, these people are doing something crazy. Or just seeing aftermath of kills. This movie, I thought, okay, that's what they're building towards, because it was a lot of somebody being grabbed and snatched from behind, or somebody stabbed and they just fall, but you don't really see it happening. And then we get to the end of it, and I'm like,
that was it?
Nothing's happening in this movie. And they also, I know this was another movie, they were really trying to force the women empowerment. Which that part of the story was actually okay for me, because that's something that's big in college that happens.
Yeah.
And the women aren't believed. And I thought this was a good place to put that, because it could incorporate into the bigger story later on. But I felt like it got lost, because then it got shuffled around into women are good, men are bad. That thing where that discussion gets lost, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is there are bad people in every side. In this case, we're dealing with this one scenario, but even the people that aren't even part of that are still being treated like they're bad. You know, so to me, it started getting convoluted on trying to give me a message, and I'm here to watch a slasher flick.
Yeah.
Like, you got to pick and choose your messages. I'm sorry.
It was just okay. I wish it had been better. I wish there had been more blood and guts, but
my biggest issue was that I was just bored. It could have been the greatest story ever. I was just bored. And forget the fact that we'll talk about our theater experiences during that movie, which there were some, but I was just so bored. And I'm like 10 minutes in this movie, and I'm like, dear God, this movie is going nowhere. And it went nowhere.
It was unfortunate.
It's kind of a false advertising, because it advertises like this girl's fighting back and this, and then while that happens, it's like 5 minutes of the movie or something. It's like,
whatever. It was unfortunate.
And a lot of dumb decision making, which I get irritated about.
That's normal.
I know I can accept it, but there was too many of them. You know, when somebody gets right in your face and they're not doing anything to you and going, kick him in the nuts, at least.
Poke him in the eyeballs,
if there's one scene that's like that, had she kicked him in the nuts and then fell down and was trying to crawl away, and they pulled back and did everything else in the scene exactly the way, it would have been fine, because at least it appeared she tried to do something.
It would have been easy to just do this.
I know that. I'm just saying, my biggest problem with these movies,
they don't have some serious self-defense,
is they never let them do anything. Like, you don't have to make it where it stops them.
Yeah.
Like, have them headbutt them in the face. Like, that's one of the ones I love, is like, you get that moment of some girl and all of a sudden she headbutts the dude that's overpowering her in the face. And you're like, yeah! She goes to get away, and then he grabs her and slams her. Like, okay.
That's okay.
You know, at least we're going to keep going, but she tried. Nobody tries in this movie until they have the obvious upper hand.
I think that's one of the things that always bothers us, like you and I, because I'm always thinking, like, go for an eyeball, pull an ear.
And stop wearing shoes that make you fall down.
Yeah, well, that's just classic horror movie.
Well, it goes back to dumb, and I'm fine with the dumb horror rules. I'm fine with everybody tripping and falling.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to, because I'm not going to watch an hour and a half movie of somebody running away and they catch you at the very end.
I want to watch a movie of you being chased, because you would stop and like kick somebody's butt.
I'd be like, come here. Why are you running? That's why I don't understand zombie movies. What are you running from? It was like
are
this.
They like zombies in Z, or are they?
Well, I'm saying just normal zombies.
Okay.
But it's different if there's like a horde
Romero
of them.
Zombies.
Like a horde of them I get, because they can engulf you. But if you're walking and there's like 7 zombies on the road and everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, just walk over to them and hit them. Like, what was I was watching?
They're gonna get their chompers on you.
I was watching something the other day that was like that, and the guy was just like, "What is y'all's problem?" And he was just like cracking them. I don't remember.
Was it Zombieland?
No, it was a new TV show. I think Astronomy Club. I think that's what it was. It was a sketch comedy thing, and they were having a moment where one of the people disappeared, and they're talking about it, and so somebody shows up to kill him. The guy just like, it was a running gag. It's like it was Child's Play. That's what they were doing. It was Chucky. So Chucky came at him, guy, and they're like, so and so killed Chucky, and everybody's like, how did you do it? And he goes, well, He goes, Chucky came around the corner. He come right at me. He goes, and I'm a 6-foot grown ass man, so I kicked his ass out the window. Mm-hmm. And then he came again. I kicked him again. And then some other killer comes in and he kicks them too. And they're like, he goes, hello, I'm a grown person. How is this scaring you people? You know, it's like so obvious. But anyway, Black Christmas bored the crap out of me.
Anyways, I thought it was okay. It could have been better if it had been rated R, perhaps.
It was an okay movie, like I said. The last half of it, while silly and cheese, and it at least had some fun fighting and some stuff happening. Maybe with an unrated cut, maybe we get some other kills or some cleverness. But yeah, as a whole, I was just like snooze fest. Mm-hmm. And I hate that because I was rooting for this movie. Yeah. Especially because it didn't do well. And I saw like
we were hoping.
Bloom, Richard, is it Richard Bloom? Roger Bloom?
Who knows?
Anyway, the guy that Bloomhouse.
The Bloom guy.
He posted about it. He goes, I know none of y'all saw my movie, but if you get a chance, it's still out there. You know, because
yeah, we did, dude.
You know, and so I wanted to promote it just because I loved most of the movies that come out of that studio, but it just didn't work.
Anyways, okay. All right. We need to get through our other stuff. Do you want to do movie theater experience?
Yeah, we only have one really big one to talk about, and it is an annoying one.
Lord have mercy. Teenagers.
That's another problem.
Other reason with PG-13.
PG-13 in horror is going to equal annoying teenagers.
It was the most horrible thing.
And it was 2 different sets.
There's 2 groups of teenagers. I feel like there was 3. I feel like down at the bottom there were other people talking on the phone too.
Yeah, but I don't think they were really causing a problem. I think what happened is when the police officer came in there.
The police dude came in.
When the police, about 7 times, the police guy came in there. I think he heard them talking, went over and told them. So I don't think anybody really complained about them.
I don't know.
So we have one group that had already gone into the theater that they weren't supposed to be in while they were waiting.
Then they came out and came into ours.
And he had went to look for them, which I'm surprised he let them stay after no one.
And then they went out and got someone else in illegally.
Do we know if they got them illegally?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because they're like, so-and-so's here. Go get him.
I couldn't understand. I could hear him talking, but
I heard everything.
Okay, I could hear him talking, but I couldn't understand their words.
And then this group over here, they were making out and talking and whatever was happening on the phone. Then the cops told them, you need to leave now. Come with me. And then, so some of them left, but some of them stayed.
Then they all came back.
Then they came back. Then some people left, and then they came back, and then they left, and then they came back, and then they finally left.
And I don't normally go and complain about people, but I had to pee, and so I pee. I didn't tell you exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah.
I went to go pee, so I'm walking past that security guy, and I just went, Lord, and he goes, what's up? And I said, oh, the people. He goes, they still talking? I said, they ain't shutting up. They yapping away in there.
And it's another.
And I said, it's that group on the far side that won't shut up. He goes, all right, I get them out of there. I said, that's fine. So I went on to pee, got my cup of water, came back in. You know, now I'm kind of getting ready to fight on the off chance that they see me coming in and then the cop comes in. You know, so I'm like, okay, I'm ready to throw down just in case. And then there was 2 other people coming in. I was like, well, now they're going to think it's them anyway. So,
yeah. Well, and then a couple left. There was like a couple like on a date.
Well, I think they're the one that made the big complaint.
And then they left the movie. They did not come back. They probably got their money back.
Yeah,
But there was one point where I was like, he needs to be quiet. I'm going to go hit him. And I was like, I don't care how big he is, because he was a big guy.
Big guy. Yeah.
I don't care. I ain't scared.
You're not scared because I'm going to have to back you up.
No,
that's why you're not scared. Pal. None of whatever you just did is going to work. Just FYI. Wow.
And then, whoop, whoop, whoop.
I've taught you better than that. And that wasn't even a good Three Stooges.
I can't throat punch him because he's a minor.
If he puts his hand on you, you can.
Okay. Then it would have been like.
Anyway.
That was me jumping up and pulling.
Yeah, so they were just loud. And then finally, what's funny is the security finally made the one group leave. Then the other group left on their own.
Yeah.
But they left the one talking guy by himself.
Well, at least he didn't talk.
And he had no one else to talk to. So he sat there for probably almost to the last 5 or 10 minutes of the movie.
And then he left.
Then he finally got up and left for no reason.
Why do you buy a ticket if you're not going to? I don't understand.
I don't understand that by anyone. Why you buy a ticket to sit on the phone. Why you buy a ticket to sit and talk, be disruptive. I don't understand. The tickets are expensive.
And then, did you see our friend posted? He's like, and this is why we go to Alamo.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
I knew they were annoying them, but he's also one that's not going to yell necessarily.
Oh, I would.
But what they don't know is there was an entire group of black belts sitting at the top of the theater that would have gone into ninja mode.
We would have kicked somebody's butt.
Anyway. So that was the theater fun.
All right. What else do we got?
And we got tubes. So let's talk about our favorite movies of the year.
Okay, I'm ready.
So this one has, like, I was a smart one. I've been making my list all year. She had to go mad.
I went through the entire year of movies and wrote down everything that I really liked. And then I narrowed it down. And then I narrowed it down again.
So what I've decided is I'm going to have my top 10 and then my 5 honorable mentions, which were part of the top 10 originally and why they bumped out. That's what I'm going to do.
I don't know why they bumped out on mine. They're just there.
Most of mine, I know why mine bumped out.
Okay.
So do you want to go through your list first? Oh, we don't know each other's list, by the way.
I don't know. Do you want to? Or do you want to do one and one?
No, because there are no specific order.
Okay, so my number 1 movie of the year is not a surprise to anyone.
And I already know what it is.
It's Midsommar. I love this movie. I don't know what I expected because I didn't like Hereditary.
Which is why I don't understand, but I can't explain to you why she likes the end of Black Christmas.
But now that I knew kind of we were going in a cult mentality, I actually like Midsommar. And I think if you go into Midsommar understanding that it's really about loss and grief and how people deal with it, I like it. It's cool. And I like the cinematography of it. There are moments that made me a little dizzy, but I like there's some camera flips. There's some bright and dark. There's some grays and there's some undulating on the screen, and it's really good. Number 2, I picked John Wick Chapter 3.
Not a shock there either.
Loved it. Number 3, I picked the movie Us. I got fun on it. That movie creeped me out. I also loved it. And yeah, I thought it was really good. Number 4, maybe a surprise to you, How to Train Your Dragon Part 3. Really?
None of your choices ever surprised me.
I loved it.
How you are.
I thought it was such a beautiful movie to watch. With the
Don't worry, you're not the only one that has an animated film on their list.
Yes, the animation was really good, and I cried my eyes out at that movie. It was.
But you like all those movies.
Good. Such a good movie.
Each one of those stories gets you.
Number 5, I picked Booksmart, which I don't think you've ever seen it. I liked it. I think it was just.
I've heard it's great.
A very accurate portrayal of what it is to be a teenager and what it is to go out into the world.
Which one do you think is better, Booksmart or 8th Grade?
Wow.
I've seen 8th Grade, but I haven't seen.
Was 8th Grade this year? I should have put on the
list. No, I don't think it was.
I really liked 8th Grade, but that was more coming of age. This is more what do you do like becoming an adult.
Gotcha.
So, number 6, not a great movie, but I liked it. Happy Death Day to You. I know you're gonna think it's dumb, but I liked the movie. I liked the series so far. Number 7, I picked Rambo: Last Blood.
I do love that movie.
I loved that. I cried at that movie, and I think it was such
Why
a
did you
great.
Cry?
Because at the end, and the girl,
okay.
and it's just such a good story. Like to round out the whole story from the beginning to the end as a person. I like Sylvester Stallone. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm with you.
Number 8, I picked the movie Waves, which is surprising to myself.
Especially because you didn't like some elements of it, so I'm surprised.
But the more I've sat with
it's a great movie.
I really liked it. And it really is totally immersive.
It did not make my list, but it is an excellent, excellent movie.
The music throughout tells the story as well as the dialogue. I think it deals with really important issues of race, of how a mistake can change your life, but how you can also find redemption from it. But also what happens to the people in your family, like if this person has done something, the stigma that can follow you.
The butterfly effect there.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody did great performances. Yeah. What's his name? The dad?
Sterling K. Brown.
So good. And the main kid, he did a great job.
Yeah, I agree.
I just love
it's a great movie.
You need to watch it. Please watch it. Number 9, I picked Knives Out. Really liked it.
That surprised me.
Really?
Yeah, I knew you enjoyed it, but I didn't think you liked it that much.
I loved it because it was a new twist on the whodunit murder mystery. Because you kind of know things, but then there's another twist and another twist. And I'm like, what? And I like the main girl. And I'm happy for you, main girl.
Ana de Armas?
Yes.
I love her.
And at first, what's his name? James Bond was really annoying me. I know he likes her for other things.
No, I like her.
That get shown in another movie.
Daniel Craig.
They're
going to both be in the movie, the No Time to Die.
Yeah, good for her. I'm happy for her. Anyways, number 10, I picked The Good Liar. It stuck with me.
Yeah, it was okay.
I liked the twist of it.
It was another one that had great performances, and the movie itself was kind of.
But I think that's what I like too. I like the idea that it is an older cast as the leads, and you don't normally get that in
Yeah.
a movie. They're always relegated back to a secondary
The
character.
grandma.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're both really good and in their element, and I thought
Yeah.
it was great. Okay, then it had 5 extras that got mixed
Okay,
around.
let me do my 10,
Okay,
and
do your
then
10.
we'll talk about our extras.
We'll
All
see
right.
if we had any.
So mine is just like her. There's no particular order.
Yeah, just throw it in there.
And these are our personals, so it's not about what was getting award contention or anything else.
I have
It's just
no idea
what
what's
movies
getting
we
award.
loved. And I don't think we have a lot of the same at all. I think there was only one that we both had on our
Okay.
top 10. So number 1 would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It was on my original list.
I love that movie, love it movie. But I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I love when he twists history.
I liked it.
I know some people had issues with the realization of what they went down. I saw it kind of what he had said, whether you believe him or not. This is kind of a big FU to the people that did what they did, and I saw that same way he did in Glorious Bastards. Number 2,
it came off my list because of the feet. I marked
the
it
feet.
up. That's the only
Number
thing.
2, which is might be in the top 3 of my favorites for the year, is The Art of Self-Defense.
I didn't see it. You keep talking
I
about
know
it.
that is one of my favorites this year with Jesse Eisenberg, and of course
have
there's a
to
martial
watch
arts aspect to it,
Yeah.
so it had some
And
quirky.
your dad liked it.
My dad liked it, which me and you need to watch it because I need you to realize
can't-
why it's even weirder that my dad
because
likes
he
it.
likes dub movies and westerns.
Yeah, when you watch this movie, you're going to be baffled why my dad likes this movie. I'm
Maybe
baffled,
it's the satirical nature of him knowing that that's how some people in martial arts are.
but there's so much darker stuff to this
okay.
movie that there's wieners in it and stuff. So,
Oh my.
another one that's not a surprise to her is the Joker. I love Joker.
Yep.
And I'm not a fan of that character. I like Batman, but I'm not a fan of a lot of his rogues galleries stuff. And I wasn't a fan of the direction they were going to go, and surprisingly came out of the movie loving it. I know there's a lot of people that have issues because of its stance on mental health and some of the direction it goes. But as a movie as a whole, with Joaquin Phoenix's performance, the direction they took, I loved it. It's a hard movie to watch on some elements, but I loved it. The one that we do have in common is Knives Out.
Oh,
I
John
did
Wick.
love.
No.
Nope, John Wick did not make my list.
What?
Because it was too obvious.
Oh, who
Here's
cares?
my thing. Is I purposely don't put movies on there that I didn't put a Star Wars movie on there because it's
we love
obvious.
Star Wars. It's obvious.
I mean, obviously. I tried to pick movies that were kind of different and not just straightforward action.
I did like Knives Out.
Knives Out made it because, one, you don't get a lot of these Agatha Christie, Alfred Hitchcock style things. I love that it was Rian Johnson's big FU to all the people that hated The Last Jedi. So this was kind of my vote for Star Wars. And the cast was great. The story was fun. It was a great movie. This one, which I was surprised, I thought this might make your list, but Ready or Not, which I loved. Just because it was different.
It was different.
Quirky, different. It had fake Margot Robbie in it. And so my other one that was
I did like her. She was
my other one that
that
might be
is.
my number one favorite movie of the year is The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh, I didn't get to see it, but I'm you know what? I think I'm gonna love it because I'm seeing how much it has changed Shia LaBeouf's life.
It changed his whole life.
Like his life.
But the movie is just so good. It was just like, it's funny, it's heartwarming, it's endearing, it's powerful, and it's silly, it's kind of everything.
It seems very emotional.
Another one is I had a couple of this was a Netflix movie. I have a couple of Netflix movies here, but this one, Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh, it was on one of my favorites lists.
I love the movie for a couple of reasons. One is I had a connection with the whole Dolomite thing through my love of hip hop. So I started learning about Dolomite when I was a little kid without knowing who Dolomite was. And then I've seen some of those old movies and they're horribly bad. But I also love Eddie Murphy and getting to see Eddie Murphy return like he has. And him being so good in the movie and such a great cast. I just thought it was such a fun movie, and I didn't expect the movie to be so powerful in like an uplifting, personal way, like of being inspirational. I expected this to be a dumb movie,
Yeah, he's out there like, and the ceiling's falling down, but at the end, it is inspirational, uplifting.
So my next one is. I have a lot of movies on here you haven't seen, so that's the problem. Is Richard Jewell. And part of the reason my love of this movie, the reason this movie bumps some other movies out, is first and foremost is I'm a huge fan of Paul Walter Hauser. I think he's a great actor. I think he's one of these character actors that I think could have easily gotten lost in the shuffle of the Hollywood thing, because he's a big guy, so he's not the stereotypical leading man.
Yeah.
But he was great in I, Tonya. He's great in Black Klansman. He's great in everything I've seen him in, and this is his chance to shine in the Clint Eastwood lead, and he's awesome. And I think you'll love him in it too.
And when we went to the movie this weekend, people were coming out of that movie, and you can tell by the comments, it's a powerful film.
Well, when we walked in, that's what was playing before Black Christmas. It was the sequence that I told you, which is his breakdown sequence.
I should have gone in and watched it.
Because I wanted to see because the digital displays for us, we didn't know what movie was in there, so they come out and I'm like, how is it playing? And I walked in and said, ooh, it's Richard Jewell. All right, so this one is my animated feature that I love for sure. And this won't be a surprise to you, but it might be a surprise to some of you people. It was Missing Link.
Yeah, you did like that.
I love the movie, but it's because I love all the Leica stuff.
That art style is so different.
It bothers you half the time.
Yeah, but that was a really good
But I really like this. And this my number 10 movie, which was usually I would not put it on here because it's a genre film. It's an obvious film. But I have a personal connection to this film, not involvement of work on it or anything like that, but it's Shazam. And that's because outside of loving the movie and thinking it was great, it was a big thing for me and my son, because my son's a huge Shazam fan that started when he was a little kid, which was weird because he discovered it while we were watching the 60s Batman show together and the 70s Shazam series where they drive around to Winnebago came on, and for whatever weird reason, he liked it more than Batman, and that became his thing. And to this day, he's 22 years old, fixed to be 23, and he still collects Shazam stuff. So when this movie came out, I was like, please be good, because he was on the fence.
It was good.
And
I enjoyed it.
So, yeah. So
I cried at that one.
That was more of a personal connection, but still fun movie that I had to throw in my 10. All right, so let's go into our honorable mentions. We get 5 each.
Okay.
Now, one of our honorable mentions is one of your favorite movies, too. Oh. So we're still on the same path with it. So you go ahead.
Okay, so my 5 extras. I picked Joker, actually.
As one of yours.
It was hard to watch. I was not looking forward to it at all.
Yeah,
but I ended up really liking it. I think the message and the importance of taking care of everyone's mental health is so, impactful. Which one movie? Hold on. So I thought it was such a good movie. I picked the movie Crawl, which I did not want to see.
Quentin Tarantino's one of his favorite movies of the year.
This is going to be a stupid movie, and I actually ended up liking it.
It was so funny because we were talking about it, and she was talking about Crawl being on her list, and I had just read the article where Quentin Tarantino talked about that was one of his favorite movies of the year.
Hold on.
Oh, hold on. We got a puking dog situation.
Okay, come on.
I'll just sit here and sing la 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 la. Anyway, but yeah, it was funny because Quentin Tarantino always puts his list out every year of his favorite movies of the year, and they're very much like our list. They're very eclectic. They're not the movies that you think would be the big movies. And so,
our dog is such a good dog. He obviously needed to go vomit.
I wasn't talking or anything, but that's
okay.
Okay.
Sorry, he won't.
Yeah, he won't throw up in the house. He
won't.
But
so
anyway,
good.
but so like it was funny because he put out that he said Crawl was one of his favorite movies of the year, and then he also put a thing of why he loves Rob Zombie's Halloween movies. It's always I love the end of the year in Quentin Tarantino.
I picked the movie Klaus or Claus, however you want to say it, on Netflix. The Netflix animated movie.
And I thought I was going to hate that movie.
Me too. It looked dumb, but it was actually a really good movie. It is dark. It's emotional. You see a darker side of Santa Claus, I guess. So I thought it was good. So you should watch it. 14, I picked The Goldfinch.
Did you really? I thought you didn't like that movie that much.
I sat with it, and it was impactful because, I mean, it's the little boy, his mom.
I never watched it, so.
The painting, but it also deals with some coming of age issues. Somebody throughout the movie ends up being gay, and there's relationship issues.
What?
And there's a girl, and there's the painting.
And a boy?
And him growing up. And I mean, it's a whole thing. So it's slow. There's some slow pacing throughout. It's very dialogue driven, but the main guy is good.
All right.
So what is his name?
Baby Driver guy?
Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot just happening here. And yeah. The more I sat with it,
Ansel Egerford or something like that.
Egerford.
Yeah, something. Anyway, what else you got? Is that it?
And then La Llorona.
The Curse of La Llorona.
Yes. It's not a great movie, but I'm picking it because it represents, the stories of my people. And if they make a movie about El Cucuy, I'm putting it on my top list too. I don't even care. I know it's not great, but I liked it.
Well, it's going on my list because
it's for my people.
All right, so my 5, only one of these was never on my top 10. It got added later.
Oh, wow.
But my first one is Fighting with My Family.
Oh, yeah. That was
which I just thought, because I think I liked that movie so much because I thought it was going to be less.
Oh,
I thought it was going to be enjoyable, but I didn't think it was going to be that powerful, that engaging.
Engaged.
Thank you. I know it rewrites a little bit of history the way they did it, but I also forgot until recently that's the Midsummer girl, Florence Pugh, in that, and she's in upcoming in Black Widow. So I think she's in Little Women right now. Mm-hmm. So that girl's got a little big career on her. This next one, which is a good argument with a lot of people, was Glass. Now, the reason Glass is on here is not because I think it's necessarily a better movie than some of the other movies, but it was, I love the movie and I love the direction. Like the things that a lot of people hate about that movie, I love. The fact that it wasn't an action-packed movie. I love that the direction of the world that it created, but I really, really liked that it was closing out that trilogy. It was bringing it together to a trilogy we never thought we were ever going to have.
Yeah.
You know, Split brought it back to us and Glass came to us. And to me, Glass delivered. I loved Glass. Every time I've watched it, I've seen it numerous times. I've loved it every time. I don't think it fell short. I don't think it did something bad.
I really like Split.
But,
okay, sorry.
This is the one we both had on our list, but mine's on my honorable mention. It got bumped off by a couple of other ones. But Rambo Last Blood was on there. Again, kind of like you, it was my love of Stallone, my love of all things Rambo and Rocky and those kind of things. And I love the gritty, the dark, and the realistic nature of the movie. It's very real. I can see people not liking it, but
that's okay.
I did. Yeah. So this one was a hard one to not put on my top 10. And I know this won't be a surprise to you, but The Irishman made my honorable mention.
Oh, I had it on my original.
Because I love all things mob related.
Yeah.
The only reason it didn't make my top 10 was because of Shazam bumped it because of the personal connection.
Yeah.
Had I not had a connection with Shazam and my kid, The Irishman probably would have made the top 10.
Yeah.
But while it's not as violent, aggressive like Goodfellas and things like this, I still loved it.
It was good.
And lastly, this is one that it came in late in the game, mainly because I just didn't think it got the love it deserved. And I thought it was a fun movie, and you haven't seen it either. It's Alita Battle Angel.
Oh, that looked good.
Not that it's a better movie than everybody else, but visually, I loved it. I thought it was a fun movie. It's everything it could have been to make new ones, or still talking about possibly making another one because it did okay. But it's one of those that I thought deserved more love, and visually it's insane. The fights are great. So
cool.
Anyway, those are our main movies for this year.
All right. Now my cat's here.
So I guess that's gonna be it.
All right. Do you have any videos coming out?
Let me actually, there is nothing coming out next week.
Okay.
Because of New Year's. The last stuff comes out in theory. There may be some stuff hit stores, but it's not really being big advertised. The next big year of stuff kicks off on the 7th. The following week, which is one of them is Joker and The Lighthouse, and a couple of them. They made a Bulletproof 2, which baffles me because it's got completely different casts. The original movie is Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans, and now it's Faison Love and Kirk Fox. I don't even know what they're doing. But we do have I think only one contest going. Let me see how many we got real quick.
Okay, hold on. My cat's actually loving me, so I'm taking advantage.
I'm still giving away copies of Maleficent, digital copies of Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, the second one in the series. Maleficent, Malnutrition, Mistress of Hunger. We're giving away digital copies of that. And also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we have a contest link on there for the Wellgo USA Ip Man 4 prize pack. Basically, all you have to do to enter that contest is go see the movie.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's you go see the movie, and then you basically tweet out a picture of your tickets or a picture of you and the people you go with in front of the movie poster at the theater, and you tag Wellgo USA or Ip Man Legacy, that kind of thing, and that's it. There's nothing you have to pay. There's no questions to answer. You just go see the movie. That's what they're trying to get people to do, is go see it. So we've got the link up there, and I believe there's even a link to the list of theaters on the site too. So if you click on it on the contest page, you can see it. So, and I got a Wing Chun wooden dummy for Christmas too. So everybody's now asking if I'm going to set mine on fire like in the Man 4 poster.
Please don't do that. I'm ready for that.
I said if I do that, it might take the house with it. So I don't think we're going to do that. So anyway.
And then there's only really one thing coming out of the theater this next weekend, and I'm scared. It's The Grudge. It's a new
remake. The remake of the remake.
It's
like Black Christmas.
Of the remake of The Grudge. So as you remember, if someone dies in violent hate, The Grudge is born. So there you go. And this time it has John Cho, who I like, and other people. So there you go. That's all you need to know.
All right.
That's all that's coming out.
Damien Bashir is in it too.
Didn't say that, but whatever. So that's what's happening this week. Next week it'll pick up back again with a lot of good things coming out. So
we'll probably watch some Netflix stuff or something to talk about.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Thank you so much for watching our humble little show, Hollywood Matrimony Live. Please check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. And thank you for watching us on YouTube and Facebook. You can also find us on Twitter and on Instagram at Hollywood Matrimony. There you go.
Join me tomorrow for a new episode of Martial Arts Movie Mondays. I've got a very fun one to talk about tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, we'll be for all the new episodes, a New Year's Eve edition of TV Tuesdays. And we got lots to talk about.
Oh my gosh, we've been watching
so much stuff. We're gonna
I've had time off.
We're gonna talk about some new shows, some returning shows, some shows that have been off a while that we're just joining into, recaps of some ends of seasons, all kinds of stuff on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what time yet, sometime during the day, because we have no classes that day, so we can do it anytime we want. Then circle back next year on Sunday. It'll be next year by then.
Wow.
For all new episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live, the first episode in 2020. We'll not only discuss about whatever movies we see, because we'll probably see some stuff we haven't seen yet. We'll probably talk about that. But we're also going to talk about our most anticipated movies of the year,
John Wick 4.
Which is not coming out next year.
I know.
It is happening, but it's not next year.
Okay.
But because there's new Marvel movies, DC movies, monster movies, horror movies, comedies.
Is there another Godzilla?
In theory, Godzilla versus King Kong is supposed to be coming out next year. So we'll see. We'll talk about all that next week. See what we're most anticipated for. It'll be funny to find out what this one's excited for, because it never makes any sense. Never makes any sense.
I know.
But again, as always, thank y'all for watching. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas.
Thank you
Kwanzaa,
so much.
Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate.
Yes, peace be with you.
If you don't celebrate anything, hopefully you just had a wonderful time vacation. Peace and love, children.
Bye.
Peace and love. See you next year.